In just 2 short years, Francis Ngannou has risen from absolute unknown to budding superstar. On January 20th at UFC 220 in Boston, Ngannou would challenge Stipe Miocic for the UFC heavyweight title. Ahead of that stellar matchup, relive the rise of the Predator. Francis Ngannou's road to the UFC had a rather fortuitous beginning. Now in the UFC Hall of Fame, former UFC matchmaker Joe Silva once told MMAjunkie that the hulking heavyweight first made it on his radar when he was given tape of Ngannou's first loss, a result that remains his only setback to date. The December 2013 matchup in France under the 100% fight banner took place just a few months after Ngannou had started his MMA training. And while he ultimately came up short via decision to Zumana Cisse, Ngannou's raw talent was evident, throwing heavy shots on the feet and muscling his way out of bad positions on the floor. In the end, it was Cisse who seemed almost relieved the contest was over. Refinement was needed for sure, but Ngannou's physical tools were undeniable. Ngannou made his UFC debut in December 2015 against Luis Henrique at UFC on Fox 17 in Orlando. The battle of UFC newcomers was the night's very first fight, and Ngannou entered the octagon as an unknown commodity to most. As he walked to the cage, Ngannou appeared calm, but there were certainly hints of nerves. Still, his massive frame immediately caught the eye of UFC commentators Joe Rogan and Dominic Cruz.
How about the length of those arms that he has, though?
He's huge, and he's got enormous feet. That was one thing that was looking when he's standing on the scale. This is a big, big man.
Ngannou was patient to start, but he was taken down early after a powerful low kick and spent much of the first round on his back, though he survived without taking much damage. In the second, Ngannou appeared a bit more comfortable, and as Henrique started to fade, the Predator turned up the heat. After Ngannou fended off a few takedowns, fans would get a glimpse of his incredible power, starting with a 3-punch combo, then rifling in a few big left hooks before dropping Henrique with a massive left uppercut that would offer a precursor of things to come.
And the winner by knockout, Francis the Predator.
I love the fight. I know that I am present when I enter inside the cage, and I know that this fight must be good for me.
For his second octagon visit, Ngannou was moved up to the main card of April 2016's UFC Fight Night 86 in Croatia, where he faced another promotional newcomer in the undefeated Curtis Blades. The bout would prove to be what still remains Ngannou's toughest UFC test, with Blades stunning him early and looking to push the pace. Ngannou responded well, showing more early aggression than in his debut and defending several takedowns while fighting largely from a southpaw stance. Still, it was evident in the first that Blades came to fight. In the second, Ngannou returned to an orthodox stance and again began to strike with more frequency. A few left hands early in the round busted up Blades' right eye, which closed tighter and tighter as the time wore on. Seeing a wounded fighter in front of him, Ngannou patiently picked his shots on the feet. Blades wasn't quite ready to give up yet, scoring a big takedown and settling into side control, but Ngannou quickly battled his way back to his feet and continued the attack until the bell.
Round 3 coming up.
When doctors came in to inspect Blades between rounds, it was clear he couldn't see out of his right eye. The fighter insisted he could, but when he tried to grab the doctor's hand in order to tell how many fingers he was holding up, Blades' night was done. After passing his first real UFC test, Ngannou made it clear he had his sights set higher up the division, insisting he was looking to make his way to the very top.
Because I am ready for that.
In July 2016, Ngannou would make his network television debut, facing Bojan Mihajlovic on the main card of UFC on Fox 20. With a massive height, weight, and reach advantage, not to mention entering the contest as a younger man, it didn't take a trained eye to realize that Ngannou was the favorite, provided he could avoid Mihajlovic's grappling prowess. That didn't prove to be an issue. Ngannou kept his range early, waiting for the right moment to attack. When he finally decided to flurry, a few flush shots on off-balance Mihajlovic toppled to the floor, turning to his back and looking for an opportunity to grapple. Instead, Ngannou jumped on top and started raining down powerful hammer fists from the top. Referee Herb Dean watched closely as Mihajlovic covered up on the canvas and ultimately called a halt to the fight 94 seconds after it had begun. Mihajlovic protested the stoppage, though the result didn't necessarily seem all that controversial. At the night's post-event press conference, Ngannou said he was thrilled with the result, but insisted that it was just the next of many to come.
Everyone, they give me to fight, I get to fight it because maybe I'm supposed to fight all of them. I am here for a long time. I'm not here just for 2 days or 1 week. Thank you.
Clap your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. Well, I'm Trey XL, and I want y'all to know you can't forget the breaks.
With his stock quickly on the rise, Ngannou entered his next fight at number 12 in the UFC's official heavyweight rankings, taking on Anthony Hamilton, who was fresh off a 14-second victory of his own. The two clashed in the co-main event of December 2016's UFC Fight Night 102 in Albany, New York. Once in the octagon, Ngannou turned in one of his most surprising performances, winning the fight without landing a single punch. Opening the contest with his now trademarked patience, Ngannou gave Hamilton different looks in the opening minutes, switching stances and looking to attack. An early low kick saw Hamilton take him to the floor, but Ngannou immediately bucked and rolled and got himself back to the feet, and the action moved to the clinch. From there, Ngannou turned and isolated the left arm, using a Kimura to take the action first to the ground before putting a knee on Hamilton's belly and cranking the arm to get the first round finish. After the win, Ngannou made his push for a higher-ranked fighter in his next outing.
The next time I need some top 10. I don't know, someone like Arlovski, Travis Brown, Markant, everyone.
In January 2017, Ngannou was granted his wish, facing former UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski in Denver on the main card of UFC on Fox 23. Labeled a crossroads fight by many, Ngannou's potential was now painfully clear, and before the contest, he was being asked to address his status as the man who seemed destined to be the UFC's next big thing.
And a lot of people are saying you can be the best. They're saying they think you're a future UFC heavyweight champion. Does that add pressure to you? Does it feel good that people believe in you? What does that feel like?
He made me happy, he made me strong because he was my dream before them. I believe that before them. When I see a lot of people be associated of my dream, it make me happy and make me strong. The future superstar, I don't know, but I know I would be the new champion.
And if the media's position wasn't clear enough, Ngannou was also being pressed to give his thoughts on a potential matchup with reigning champion Stipe Miocic.
In UFC, everyone is a good fighter. Everyone can be a champion. So he is a good champion, but Mitchell can be a champion, a best.
Do you think he represents the belt well?
Stipe Miocic?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I know think that.
First, of course, Ngannou had to deal with the task at hand. Entering the fight at number 10 in the UFC's official rankings, he faced number 7 Arlovski, who knew he would need to move in and out of his opponent's range, attempting to chop the legs and add punches when possible while avoiding the big counter. Arlovski was successful early, sneaking in a few strikes while Ngannou whiffed on a handful of early return shots. However, Arlovski's luck ran out quite quickly. After firing a right hand, Arlovski was able to avoid a big counter left, but Ngannou added in his own right hand behind it, landing flush as he was fading away and sending the pitbull crashing to the canvas. Ngannou quickly rushed to stand over his downed opponent and landed a few more scary shots on the floor before the fight was called to a halt at the 132 mark of the first frame. After the fight, Ngannou again made it clear his focus was on the top of the division, calling out the UFC's highest-ranked contenders in hopes of proving himself title-worthy.
I would like even, I think that I talking about Junior Dos Santos and Alistair Overeem, but I just talk about them because I think that Ken Velasquez is injured. If he's on the game, I'm ready for him. He's the next one who I would like to fight.
Following the win over Arlovski, the Cameroonian-born Ngannou decided to leave his home in France and relocate to Las Vegas to set up shop at the brand-new multi-million-dollar UFC Performance Institute in hopes of further perfecting his craft. Ngannou was quickly matched up with former champion Junior Dos Santos for a scheduled September 2017 contest at UFC 215, but the bout was scrapped when the Brazilian was flagged by USADA for a potential doping violation and a suitable opponent could not be secured in time for the fight.
You know, I was putting everything for my life right now was about the fight. So just focus about the fight, and I feel like I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. You know, it's not that was not a good news.
However, Ngannou kept focused on his preparation and was soon matched up against a fighter for whom he admittedly had much admiration, Alistair Overeem. Well before they were paired together, Ngannou openly praised the Demolition Man as a top contender. The heavyweight title eliminator was set as the co-main event of UFC 218, which took place December 2017 in Detroit. When the fight began, Overeem wasn't interested in allowing Ngannou his usual patient start, rushing at him right away with both a big strike and a takedown attempt, both of which failed. Overeem then tried to utilize the clinch, but Ngannou pressed him to the cage and nullified any offense until referee Dan Miragliotta brought them back to the center of the cage. On the restart, the two started to engage on the feet, where Ngannou slipped a few punches and delivered a devastating left hand that sent Overeem crashing to the canvas. A brutal hammer fist followed, but Ngannou had already finished the fight with the first bone-rattling blow. The result served as MMAjunkie's knockout of the year and left no question that Ngannou would challenge Miocic for the heavyweight title.
Because then I would say after the winner will win the title shot, so I think I got it.
Oh no, you got a title shot. Yeah. There's no doubt about it, sir.
After the win, Ngannou was asked how he planned to celebrate the biggest win of his career, and once again, he made it clear the ultimate goal was still on the horizon.
This was the biggest win of your career, I would say. How do you plan on celebrating tonight after
No,
this press conference?
the biggest win of my career is coming.
Okay.